I believe your church website exists for one reason. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down exactly what that reason is. And we're also going to be answering the question, what makes a good church website? Coming up. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. And this channel is dedicated to helping pastors and church leaders be more effective in social media and technology and providing practical tips on exactly how to do that. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down church websites. We're going to be talking about what makes a good church website and some of the things that you need to include in order to use your website to attract new visitors. So let's dive in. Okay, so I believe that church websites exist for one reason and one reason only. That reason is to get new people to visit your church on Sunday. Right now, I would go as far as actually creating two websites. We actually did this at my church. I actually learned about this from Brady Shear. I think he learned about it from Church on the Move in Tulsa, right? But it's this idea of having a .com and a .info, right? So your .info site, so if you had faithchurch.info, that's the place where people inside your church could go in order to get more info about things that are coming up. So when we did this at my church, we kind of launched it and just said, hey, we've got an incredible women's event coming up. We're going to be excited. Here are the speakers. Here's what you can expect. Want more info? Go to gutschurch.info, right? This is a great way to kind of send people over there, right? So say, hey, man, we are also doing baptisms and baby dedications. So if you would like to have your kid baptized or you would like to dedicate them, just go over to gutschurch.com/info and you can learn more about exactly what that process looks like. So every time we were announcing something in service, or even if it was a flyer, we always just said, hey, want more info? Go to gutschurch.info, right? Now, your .com, gutschurch.com, existed in order to take people who had never visited the church and to turn them into Sunday morning visitors. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video, kind of breaking down a strategy for what does your church need in order to turn church visitors into Sunday morning visitors. All right, so number one is local SEO. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization. There's two kinds. There's global SEO, which is basically whether or not people are finding your website in Russia or China or somewhere all over the globe, which we don't really care about, right? And then there's local SEO. So that means are people who live within driving distance of your church actually finding you on Google, right? And so that's what we want to focus on. SEO can be really, really complicated, right? But one of the best platforms that I found for this is the Omega platform. Okay, so there's a company called Ministry Designs who's created the Omega platform, and I've talked to a lot of churches who have switched over for it. Now, I don't work for Ministry Designs or anything like that, but I've had the benefit of talking to a lot of churches who have switched over to the Omega platform. In fact, I talked to a church here just about 2 weeks ago who was literally on page 6 in the Google results, and just from switching from WordPress over to Omega, their website went from page 6 in Google to page 1 virtually overnight, right? And the reason for this is because the guys over at Ministry Designs, when they developed Omega, they specifically built it with tons of local SEO principles built in. It's the only platform that I know of that's built in this way, and I've literally talked to tons of churches who have just soared up the Google rankings, a lot of them going onto page 1 simply by switching over to the Omega platform. So it's something you can go check out for yourself if you're interested in that, but local SEO is going to be really, really important, and the higher you can get up in the Google rankings, especially if you can get onto page 1, the better chance your church website has at being found when people are searching for churches in your city. All right, next up is navigation. Now, the number one rule for navigation is don't make me think. You don't want to hide pages that people are trying to find inside of your navigation, right? And one of the biggest sins that churches commit in this is they'll kind of put drop-down menus inside of drop-down menus inside of drop-down menus, right? This is really, really hard to work. No big deal if you're on a desktop, right? But over 70% of web traffic now comes from mobile. And so if you're on a phone or an iPad, right, this is really, really hard to like click that and then click a drop down and click another drop down. What that's going to do is it's going to confuse people and it's going to annoy them, right? And confused and annoyed people don't visit on Sunday, right? They're just going to hit the back button and they're going to go to the next church in Google. Keep it simple and clean. 5 to 8 pages in your top level is plenty. And one of the things that you can do in order to clean up your website and make it easier for visitors is if you combine combine pages, right? So if you have like an about page and then also a new here page and then also an our story page where you tell the story of the church and then also a leadership page where you talk about the leadership, right? Just combine all of those onto your about page. People are used to clicking on the about page. In fact, it's the second most clicked on page on any website, right? Because every time they go to a business or any type of organization, they hit the homepage first and then they click on the about to learn a little bit more about that organization, right? So if you take all of those pages and put them onto one, it makes it way easier for people who are on a phone to scroll through it, because people don't mind scrolling, but they hate clicking, right? So you don't want to keep clicking on different things. And the bottom line is they'll scroll through your entire about page, but they won't click on your about page and then your new here page and then your leadership page and then your beliefs page. Put it all onto one and have multiple plan your visit buttons on there so people can plan a visit from the about page, since you want to capitalize on all the traffic that's going to naturally be going to that page. All right, next up, locations and service times. So according to a study done by Gray Matter, 43% of people on church websites are there simply to get locations and service times. So oftentimes they've already decided to visit your church, right? So they're simply looking for locations and service times. So the best thing to do is have this displayed prominently on your homepage. So you want to have the menu at the top, and then you want to have a header or slider, and then right underneath that, you want to have your location and service times, right? It's good to have this above the fold, meaning when it first loads on mobile, you can still see it without having to scroll. Because again, 43%, 4 out of 10 people who are on your website have already decided to visit. They're just looking for location and service times. So let's make it easy. Let's feature it prominently on the homepage, right there above the fold. It's also good to have this on your about page, because remember, that's the second most clicked on page, and then also have it on your contact page as well. Let's make it easy for people to visit our church. All right, so next up is mobile first design. Now, this has been around for a while, this idea, but it's still really important to make sure that your web designer is adhering to a mobile first design. And the reason for that is, again, 7 out of 10 people are going to be looking at your website on either a phone or a tablet, right? So what you want to do is you actually want to design the website with them in mind first, and then you want to build the desktop version, right? A lot of people get this backwards because we're so used to building a desktop version, and most people are going to be designing your website on a desktop, but you actually need to design it for mobile first, and then you want to make sure that the desktop version looks good. But that's why they call it mobile first, is you're putting all the emphasis on the mobile experience, and then the desktop experience is going to come second. Okay, before I get to my last couple of points, man, would you share this video? There's a lot of churches out there that are either in the middle of a church website redesign, or they need a new website, or they're building a website for the very first time, right? So if you would share this video with someone that you think needs it, a pastor, a church leader, doesn't cost you anything but means the world to us, and it could really help them, and they have you to thank for it. Okay, next up is online sermons. Now, my favorite way to do this is by uploading some of your latest videos to YouTube, which most of you are probably already doing, and then just have a online sermons page where you can post a lot of those YouTube videos. This just makes it super easy for people to go in and consume a lot of your content, and especially for a potential visitor, it allows them to kind of test drive your service, right? And kind of see what your speaking style is, get the chance to listen to you as a pastor before they visit on Sunday, right? And this is going to lower the barrier of entry by 50%, because every single potential visitor wants to know 2 things. Number 1, who's the pastor? Number 2, who are the people? So if you have lots of pictures on your website all over of the people that are inside of your church, and again, you want to make sure that they are smiling, happy people, and then you have a online sermons page or a media page where they can test drive a sermon and actually meet you as the pastor and listen to what a typical sermon looks like. Now you're lowering the barrier of entry, and you're just making it easier for people to visit your church. And last but not least, contact info. Now, just like the about page, right, where people are used to seeing that as kind of like the second thing in your menu, everyone is used to seeing contact as the last page. So let's play into that. Let's take advantage of the mental schemas that people already have of what they think a website should be and where the contact page should be. So just make sure that it's the last one in your drop down on your mobile menu, and make sure that it's the far right option on your desktop, right? A lot of people, whenever they want to reach out to you, if they want to ask you like what to wear, or if they have questions about your beliefs or about your sermons or about your location, service times, anything like that, a lot of people are going to go straight to your contact page. Just make sure to have it very easily. I would have a number that they can call, a number that they can text, an email form, and I would also give them the opportunity to plan a visit from the contact page as well. Okay, so if you like this video and either you need to build a brand new website or you need to redesign your website, I want to encourage you to join our next bootcamp, right? So Church Marketing University has a free free website bootcamp that anyone can join, and they're going to walk you through every single thing that you need to know about redesigning your website or building one for the very first time. So all you have to do is go to churchmarketinguniversity.com/website-bootcamp, or simply click on the link in the description below and you can join the next bootcamp absolutely free.